I come to you today at the end of a week that has been tremendously challenging for me. This is a week where we had the election, and I have felt emotions come up in me that unexpected change often does for me. These feelings of sadness, of anger, of blame, of fear, of really just whirling around, not feeling grounded or centered at all. And in the midst of all of what I experienced this week, based on the president elect, I found this portal of peace. And that is what I am here to speak to you today about. The chapter that we are going to be speaking to today is called Making Space for the Sacred. And I start this chapter by saying, you are sacred. This is a powerful statement, and each of us will react to it in a different way. You might be ready to believe these words, and if you feel hesitation, you're not alone. When we struggle with emotions like anxiety, depression, fear, and resentment, we can feel anything but sacred. I believe that every person has something precious inside of them. This is what connects us to the energy of the universe and kindred spirits around us. It is in this place that inspiration, joy, and intuition come to us, come through portals of learning. Hard times and sorrow can beat us down, cover up our connection with the sacred, dim its light, or silence its wisdom, but it's still there. Apart from any belief system or tradition, there is something ancient and pure to be honored in all of us. There is nothing to achieve in order to tap into those most precious parts of ourselves. It is ever present. I take a deep breath here, and I'm not going to re-record this. Normally I would want it to be polished up for you, but I am feeling so many different emotions right now that I think the best that I can really do is just to speak how we can get through tough times. And really, that's all about rituals. That's all about this learning of tending to yourself deeply. Because challenges and unexpected events, they bring on so much change all at once that it can be so hard for us to receive any level of how we're going to even move through the next moment, never mind days or weeks or months. And I think this is why I have such an extraordinary feeling of gratitude towards the years that I have dedicated my life to personal practice, to coming inside, to holding this place, witnessing this place within me when it's joyful, when it's sad, when it's overwhelmed. Whatever it is, my greatest responsibility to myself is to understand how I meet the moment. This knowledge has the power to allow us to be not only responsible for ourselves and the way we interact with ourselves, but the way we interact with our world. Words matter, right? Actions matter. Integrity matters. And when we can cultivate that within ourselves, when we can find a way to stand back and observe ourselves, like what we've talked about in weeks previous to this, cultivating that witness, cultivating that observer perspective, which allows us to watch ourselves like we're watching a movie. And then read that information back to us. And in reading that information back to us, then we can make choices around the way that we interact with our life. This is a really huge thing, right? Because for me, in times where I didn't have this ability, when I hadn't cultivated this ability to watch myself, and I was just kind of living on a wing and a prayer and reacting to events emotionally as they came to me, I know how much it took from me, how much it took from my life, how much it took for me to just find my way through, because everything felt like an assault. And then on the other end, I know I probably did harm out there in the world too, by reacting harshly, by saying things I didn't mean to say. So the reason I bring this up is that in these times, in this climate of uncertainty, how do we find space for the sacred in ourselves? How do we do that? And in my book, this is why I I invite you toward taking any amount of time in any given day to notice what makes your heart happy. What makes your heart happy? And then, equally as important, what makes your heart sad? What makes it difficult for you to go through your life? And can you find a way to lessen that hard work? Can you find a way to make life feel just a little bit more generous and giving and supportive? And then, whatever it is you're doing that gives you just that little bit more, gives you a little bit more reserve, gives you a little bit more hope, can you continue doing it consecutively every single day? Can you continue to do it? Because that is making space for the sacred. That is the portal for healing. And as I've mentioned, so oftentimes we think it's just unobtainable. And yet I say to you, is it unobtainable to find 3 minutes in your day to breathe deeply, or to put your hands on your heart center and feel their warmth connect you to yourself? Start there. Start there. Start small and just do it every day. And notice if just paying attention to yourself, bringing your awareness inside to that inner landscape with your full attention. Notice how that feels inside, and take note. Take note of that. Because taking note will bring you back to the next day. And then the next day. And then the next day. And before you know it, you're on a self-healing path. I hope that this finds you in a place of safety, in a place of hope. And I send you off today with love in my heart. Peace, peace, blessed peace.